Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing well. I've got YouTube up and running.
Okay,
Is-
awesome.
That way I'm not forgetting. And I think the Zoom one is recording, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. All right, so we shall wait. How's everything been with you, Jess?
Oh, pretty good. My week has been a little crazy since Facebook and Instagram were down all of Monday, and then there was still issues yesterday. So I've been trying to play catch up for people.
Uh-oh.
Um, but
How,
it's been
um,
fine.
I mean, like what happened? I heard everybody say, I don't think I was even on until like nighttime.
Yeah.
What happened? It just what
So
didn't work?
yeah, so there's something called a DNS server. And so basically, like when you type in a website like facebook.com, that actually has to get routed through a DNS server because the actual like web address for Facebook would be something like 135796412abc.com or something like that. So the DNS server crashed. So basically there was no way for like what somebody typed in like facebook.com to actually get to the real facebook.com, if that makes sense.
Oh,
So
wow.
basically nobody had any way to access Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, any of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Wow. Well, I know I got on late at night and people were saying how, they couldn't get on. And I thought, okay, thank God I missed all that craziness.
Yeah.
So, oh, cool. Hi, Mike. Welcome. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Welcome. Welcome, Candace. You guys can hear me? Mike, Candace, we're good?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Thanks. I don't know. I don't know if Mike can hear me. It says it's connecting to audio. Hi, Ethan. Welcome. Can you hear me? Just testing the audio, making sure you guys can hear me. Yeah, nope. You can hear me? All right. Well, you know what? We will get this started. Welcome, everyone. Please, if you cannot hear me, let me know, and I'll make some changes here on my end. But I think audio should be good. So we'll just kind of get things going. So welcome, everyone. My name is Annabelle Pacheco, and I am an investor and a real estate broker. I've been in business for 24 years, and I am part of a global real estate company called eXp Realty. And really the purpose and reason for me doing this weekly call is to share with you guys every week the steps I took in purchasing my first multifamily deal, and also bringing guest speakers from the multifamily space to share with us, and so that we can expand our knowledge and go out there and do this for ourselves. Okay. I encourage everyone to participate and ask questions. This is a platform to share information with each other and just learn from each other. So any questions, anything that you might be going through right now, or that you might be up against, right? And maybe you want to hear somebody else's perspective on it. Feel free to ask any kind of questions. I just want to make sure you guys know that I'm not selling anything, I'm not offering anything, and I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my story with you guys, okay? A little information on myself. I started in the mortgage industry back in the mid-90s, purchased over 100 properties right now throughout my career. I have, I rehabbed, flipped, we sold and managed, kept some of the properties, managed it, and then just, pretty much sold all of it. And in 2001, I deviated a bit from real estate. We built a 150 capacity restaurant from ground up, had a staff of about 15 people, including managers, chefs, and servers. And that was a business that we ran for about 8 years. Very, very hard business, and super happy to have been able to pretty much just sell it, hand over the keys to somebody else and let them run with that. The last 10 years, I have focused on my business, which is just representing clients in the residential and the commercial real estate space. And just back in 2015, I purchased my first multifamily deal, which was 34 doors, and it was in Grand Prairie, Texas. And really, I think we were just ready to figure out a way to, how are we going to create some cash flow? I was done with buying and flipping. And yes, you make, a chunk of money, but I wasn't doing any. I was just doing it again, right? Buying another property, maybe 2 properties. And then it was just going through that just vicious cycle. And I'm not saying it's a wonderful, wonderful business to do, but I just kind of thought to myself, okay, I need to find something that will create cash flow. And nothing like multifamily. So for us, it was, multifamily allowed us or gave us the opportunity to earn that cash flow. And it's very simple. Rental income minus all of your expenses is your cash flow. Number 2, it was how cool that you actually get your tenants to pay down your loan, right? You don't even feel it because this multi-family property is more than covering your mortgage, plus you have cash flow. Someone can mute themselves, please. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Not sure who that was. Oops, sorry. So anyway, pretty much it was just great to know that, all right, someone is, what's going on here? Sorry, let me go back. Okay. It was just great to know that, you know what, your loan is getting paid down and you don't even feel it. And number 3, appreciation, right? We bought a property with just that hope, right? An expectation that over the long run, it would appreciate in value. And then the tax benefits. And there are many other tax benefits, but for us, it was depreciation, which allows you to expense, to write off a portion of that physical structure every year. And then the 1031 exchange, which allowed us to defer the capital gain taxes, and there's no limit to that. So you could do that 2-3 times if you find properties. And I can tell you just from my own experience back in 2015, man, and it's like, you don't know what you don't know, but I had such great opportunities presented right after we got ourselves into the 34 doors that we could have picked up for, not a quarter, not even, super, super, super cheap. And, we just weren't ready. We were overwhelmed just by being involved in this project. And there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And I guess just, sometimes you don't want to overextend yourself. But now that I've been in this business long enough and I've been through a lot, I just kicked myself in the butt because I should have taken that deal that opportunity and brought in other investors to work on this. So
Here, still have ample yard space.
oh,
Side. Put a fence
okay.
over here.
Give me 1 second because someone's
Nice little view.
oh my goodness, why is this moving all over the place? Guys, I apologize. I'm new to Mac, Apple product, and it is very hard to navigate through this. So I apologize if I'm moving stuff around. So anyway, let me share with you guys my property and pretty much what has happened. When we were looking for properties out in Texas, we had a mentor who had already purchased property out in Texas. And, you know, they say that location is everything and that you have to do your due diligence and you have to do your homework and your research, right? Before you're going to invest. Well, he was a very close friend of ours. He had done the research. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I knew I'm going to Dallas. That's it. I'm just going to try and find something that fits our needs. And so what I did was, as part of my search, we'd go out. It took us probably 6 months, 8 months to find this property. And, you know, we would travel out there in maybe a week, 2 week time period and just drive around and go look at these properties and just become familiar with the market. And many times I'd walk into other apartment complexes and go in there and ask for a brochure or a flyer. I wanted to see how big, you know, how many square feet, what was the rent, what are the amenities, what are they offering? And so as you start looking at all of this, you become familiar with certain things being offered in certain areas. And so when we were looking and when this opportunity popped up, we knew it was in a really good area. And so it was almost like, oh my gosh, let's run. And it just so happened to be, I was out there while I was searching when I saw this, and we just drove out to go take a look at it. And we knew immediately, like, this is it. We've got to make an offer. So when I called, it so happened to be that the agent was the owner of the property. I was a buyer who happened to be an agent as well. We ended up negotiating and representing ourselves, no other agents involved in the transaction. And we worked out a really great deal. So he sold the property to us for $850,000. We gave him $350,000 down payment. And we asked him if he would carry a note for us for 2 years. So which would be for the remaining balance, the $500,000. And he agreed to it. And it was perfect for us because it allowed us to remodel and update the units during those 2 years and increase the rent. And what that allowed is we're now bringing a producing property, a producing asset to a bank. When they look at the numbers, it makes sense and they're going to give you a loan. And originally, if we would have purchased it and gone to a traditional bank, we would have had a harder time because that property was not cash flowing to its full capacity. It wasn't fixed up. It needed there was a lot of deferred maintenance on the property, and it was just I think it was going to be harder. It was going to be harder for us to get the loan. So it ended up working great. In year 2, we refinanced. We were able to get $1 million. Actually, the property appraised at 1.6, and we cashed out $1 million. So we got pretty much our entire money back, or 350 plus whatever additional money we spent in fixing up the property. And really today, year to date, we have zero of our initial capital and investment in this property. Today's value is 2.7, and the property was on the market, and I accepted an offer last week. We got a letter of interest. I accepted an offer at a higher price than what I'm telling you guys here right now, but can't disclose that number just yet. And, you know, we're in escrow right now, and I'm looking to either double up or figure, I don't know yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm in that process right now. And all I can say is that, you know what, our property quadrupled in value from 2015. I never would have imagined that to happen, especially in going to Texas, which when we bought, the market was a lot slower, right? Not like California. So, so that's my story there. Any questions?
She said around 5.
Around 5.
Any questions? Any questions? We're good? So let me ask, I've got quite a few of you on this call. Does anyone currently own any multifamily, either 1 to 4 or 4+ units?
No, I don't. I don't own any multifamily properties.
Okay. Let's see here. So I have a couple questions. So Michael, how much did you spend on renovations? I believe we spent about 250, maybe 3 tops. So Alyssa, you have 3 units. Is it a triplex?
Yes. No, it's a multi. It's a house, and then it's 2 structures. The second structure has 2 small bungalow apartments.
Oh, nice. Okay. And what area?
It's West Adams area of Los Angeles.
Nice. Okay. So is it considered, are they accessory dwelling units or?
No, they are proper.
They have their own addresses. They were, original to the structure from 1920s.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. And let's see here. I only have 3 single family residents in Northern Ohio. Oh, okay. Very good. So you should probably sell your 3 single family residents and try to get yourself into 1 multi property. I'm submitting LOIs on multifamilies the last 90 days in California and other states. Awesome. Very good. Well, yeah, I mean, I think honestly that's the way. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I've learned that have made a big difference is that multifamily is not, the value of the multifamily is not based on other comparables in the area. It's based on the properties, right? The property's production of income, right? So if you've got a really nice, updated, upgraded, you're taking care of your property and you know that you can charge X amount of money for it, and you start doing that on 1 to 5 doors, right? You start, let's say you improve, you can increase the rents. That's what I love about this, is that you can remodel, you can update, you can increase those rents, and the value of your property will go up regardless. Doesn't matter if the apartment building down the street is not doing that, your property still gains that value. So multifamily is awesome for that reason as well, if you're going to go in and really take care and manage your property. And I can tell you, I live in California. Our property is in Texas. We didn't want to be in a position where we're getting, 20 calls a day for problems. So we went in and we said, let's just take care of it with our background of fixing and flipping homes. We just pretty much, we did the same thing. We went in there, let's fix it right. We don't want to do any kind of Mickey Mouse stuff. So we don't want to get a call in the next 6 months. It was just like, if anything, we want to get a call in a year or 2 years. And that's really what we did. We really went in there with pure intentions of fixing and bringing up this property to a good, like just quality level where your tenants are going to be very happy, and they're not going to leave. And I'll tell you, we have a waiting list. People want to move in there because they know that the property's been taken care of and they like the little community. So it's a nice thing that we've created there. All right, so here's a picture of the property, 24 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and then 10 units here, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. So today, I want to talk to you guys about some creative ways to add some real value to your property. And these are things that are, you know what, they're minor stuff that make a huge impact. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but when you don't have to pay for the bills, you really don't care, and you don't care. And many tenants will leave their windows wide open while the heater is blasting in the wintertime. I mean, and I've been out to my property, and in the wintertime, it's freezing outside. The heater is, I mean, it's so hot in there, and they open up the doors. And so we're paying for that, right? I mean, because I have a property that's all bills paid. So the other thing is, tenants also, they never report if the toilet is running, right? And again, they're not paying for the water. If they were paying for these things, I'm sure they'd have someone out there fixing these problems. So really, depending on the mechanics of the property that you have, sub-metering can be one of the largest value add activities. Now, we didn't get as far as doing this. I think it would have cost us a lot of money to do this. And I figure this is a good value add for the next buyer. If they want to sub-meter out, they can. We already did a lot of other repairs that they won't have to do. So, you know, they can maybe take it to this other level. But this is something that I think would be very beneficial, especially in an all bills paid property. Second thing, washer and dryers. This is something that I see a lot, and I'm seeing a lot right now from other colleagues that are in the multi space as well. And they're adding a washer and dryer hookups in the units. And that's netting them another like $40 to $75 a month per income. I mean, that's a lot, right? And it's not costing you a whole lot to actually do washer and dryer hookups in there. LED lighting. Oops, let me go back. LED lightings. So if you're long-term buy and hold type of investor, LED lighting is definitely great in common areas. And I can tell you, we did that as from the beginning as well. It's going to use a lot less energy, and you're going to save a lot more on your utilities. And really, the bulbs last you like 25 years. So you really aren't paying a lot of maintenance to change those bulbs constantly. I mean, it's a one-time, you're going to go in there, you're going to fix it, and you hope that it's just going to stay there for a while, right? Where it's not going to cost you to send someone to go replace the LED lights or light bulbs. The other thing is the vending machines. Now, this is definitely an income producing vehicle here that can increase the value of your property. And I'll give you some suggestions. So like in common areas, such as maybe placing a drink or a snack vending machine, it'd be great, even if you have like a gym area or an area around the pool, that you can put one of these vending machines. That'd be great, because you know what, people don't want to have to walk to the store or walk or go back home. I mean, if you have it there and it's easy, why not? People will spend the money. The other thing is in like common area laundry rooms, what they've done here is that they have like household essentials, right? So they come up with like single serving of like detergent, stain remover pens, or carpet stain removers, fabric softeners, those things that sometimes you forget and you don't want to walk back or you don't want to go back. I mean, it's there, it's immediate, it's fast. And you know what, you're generating some additional income. And really, the best part of all of this is that a lot of these vending machines, like the laundry, there are the laundry ones as well. You don't have to pay for these machines. The companies will come in, they place these vending machines. You do have to sign a contract, and I don't know what the time limit on these vending machines it is, but I can tell you, like the laundry, they actually made me sign a 10-year contract. It's usually assumable and transferable. So I think we have another 4 years left on ours. But you know what? If the numbers make sense and you don't have to worry about the machine breaking down or servicing it or any of that, and you have the room, you can do it, and you just let them handle it, and you get a percentage of it, which is fair. It's great for me because I don't want to have to take care of washing, like a washer or a dryer problem. I think it'll end up costing me more money. Any questions so far? Okay. The other thing is garage parking, right? People can, this is, and if you don't have parking, you just do what is called like those parking spots that you can offer. If there's prime, like right in front of like the doors, you can offer them an additional charge for them to just have access, knowing that, well, I'm sorry, this is the garage. I jumped into the prime. The prime, I like the prime because I identify with this. There's special spots, right? And you can put signs up there reserved for premium parking. I have had tenants tell me, they want to have the parking spot that's right in front of their door. And so what we've done in the past is we put a sign reserved, and that's his park. That particular tenant, that's his parking spot, and he pays a premium every month to get that parking spot. Many people want to do that. So that's an additional income that you are producing in parking. So you want to make sure that you can sell that. And then, you know what, people start liking it, and then you can just add it on, like when they come in and you go through the application and you guys are putting the contract together, you can offer them that prime parking, and that could cost an additional $20 a month. And this is how you start adding income, right? Monthly income to the property. Same with garage. If we don't have garage, but if you have an area, like if we're able to add an area for garage, then it'd be great, because then again, you could sell that. If someone has multiple cars, right? Usually when they sign a lease with us, they get one parking spot. If they want additional parking spots, it's additional money. So these are just ways of you generating and creating, additional income there. Renovations. And this is, you can renovate, you can, do a couple things here and there, and it'll allow you to increase the rents. That's the beauty of this, that you really can go in there, start painting front doors and maybe a different color, and the property now looks really good. And guess what? You can increase the rent because it looks so nice and so clean, and everything looks great. Now, the trash pickup service, this is really, really good. I have a friend of mine that had a resident that hated carrying her heavy trash bags to the dumpsters. And so what they did, so I guess number one, if you have a full-time maintenance man on the property, this will work. You utilize him to customize these services. And we do have someone. And so what you do is you offer maintenance man to pick up the trash outside the tenant's door. And they can do this 2 times a week or once a week, whatever it is they want to do, whatever agreement they want to do. And you know what? That's going to cost on average another $20 a month. I mean, these are services. You really have to think out of the box. You have a unit, you have a complex with 34 doors. How many people hate to take their trash to the dumpster? I am sure that if you guys offer many of the tenants, hey, we're going to offer trash pickup. You just put it outside your door twice a week. We'll pick it up. It's going to cost $20 a month. You just increased that. you know, now let's say if they're paying rent $700, now you're gonna make $720. And if they have another parking spot, it's another 20, that's $740. So this is how you build, and this is how you create value to your property. Add as many things, be creative. Pet rent. You can, you know, I chose no pets. Again, I'm not out there. I didn't want to deal with the liabilities of God knows if some dog bites or does something. I just didn't want to deal with it. But you know what? You can make $100 a month, maybe $50 to $100 a month for a pet. And again, that's, if you're okay with it and you want to implement that in there, go for it. These are just ways of adding more value to your property. Storage units. I think this is awesome because a lot of times these tenants do have a lot of stuff and they don't have a lot of space. They only have, you know, I mean, if they're renting a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, that's all they have. And so a lot of times these people are willing to pay for like extra space or storage to put stuff that they don't really use on a daily basis. And that can range from like $19, $20 to $30 a month. If, for example, you have an area that you can convert to small storage spaces, or like even, you know, like a lot of condo complexes have the parking, and then they have like just a storage unit on top where they can store stuff. Anything that the tenant would have the possibilities to put stuff away, they would do it. I can tell you if it's at a reasonable price and it gives them space inside the house, they would do it. And then there are larger complexes have exclusive deals with a lot of these cable providers, and they get a small kickback from the residents that sign up for the service. So that's something to look into. I didn't do that. I think that this works, you know, 100+ doors. And really the last thing here is renegotiate expenses. So I think as an investor, you know what, we really want to focus on how to make more money. And just as important, it's got to be that, you know what, we also control how much of it we're spending, right? And really there's a lot, there are operating expenses that include quite a few different expenses. So I'm going to give you guys just a rundown of those expenses, which are like landscaping. If it snows in the area you're at, there's snow removal, there's cleaning, there's management, maintenance, there's dumpster fees. There's a lot of stuff that you have to look at in ways of, these are your operating expenses, and you want to look at ways of decreasing this. And really, here's what I recommend. I mean, and it's small things, but you know what? You start calling around and get quotes on whoever. Let's say right now, if you've hired like a landscaping company, right? Well, get a quote from someone else and start renegotiating those contracts with your current landscaping person. Dumpster service, call, get pricing, right? Start renegotiating those monthly fees. And I know from just personal experience, sometimes we get so overwhelmed, you know, life is busy. And there are times that you do have to sit down and look at these things and make a couple phone calls, because you can save. And I know that I can tell you that we have. And really in today's market, multifamily is very competitive. And adding a lot of these unconventional value add tactics is really great. I mean, it's a great tool to have like in your belt, so that you use whenever you find it fit, right, for your property. And really what I want to stress here today is just the value add to the property is really more than the extra cash flow. if the cash flow is good, but the value can be captured through refinance or sale, which is exactly what I am going through right now, right? So I purchased a property that was a value add property. I had to go in there and I had to spend the money to upgrade these units so that I can increase the rents. And now, because of doing that, my property has pretty much quadrupled, right? It's 4 times its value. And I'm okay, because in the meantime, I have been making cash flow, and it's been a really good cash flow. And not only that, is that now I'm able to capture, like I'm capitalizing on that value and that appreciation. In my case, it's happening by a sale. But in year 2, I capitalized by refinancing. Do you guys understand this part? So I bought a property in 2015 for 850. By year 2, I was able to capitalize on that value add by refinancing. I still kept the property, but I now cashed out and I got my money back. And now today, 6 years later, I'm able to sell and capitalize on that return. So not only did I capitalize on it by year 2 with my refinance, in addition to that, I'm now making an additional, I don't know, million and a half, or whatever that number is. But it's done really well. So I mean, I want to end today by really letting you guys know that multifamily allows control. And it really allows us, like all of us, it allows everyone to know the cash flow is king, and also creativity is really a close second. So with creativity and control, amazing wealth can be built in multifamily. And I am, living proof of this. It's happening to me. And all I can say is just, stick to the price. I know that it's not everyone has an opportunity to go out and buy 30 units, but whatever it is, if it's 4 units, if it's 5 units, you know what, you do the best you can with those 4 or 5 units, and you try to always think out of the box, right? Try to use, maybe you guys can use some of the things that I've mentioned here today to increase, right, some monthly cash flow for you guys. So just that's what I have for you guys today. Any questions? All right, let me.
I do. One question, what would you say which is better? Adding attachment for the units that have washer and dryers, or having a washer and dryer facility alone?
I think I think it really depends. If you already have, I think that you will make more money because you can charge a little more if you're able to put a washer and dryer hookup in each individual unit. If you have a room that is already equipped and ready to go for a laundry room, I mean, that's a quick fix. It's not going to cost you any more money. And you're only going to make money if they use the washer and dryer. So it just really depends. I think when we originally did it, we did it as a service to our tenants. We didn't want them to have to walk or drive a block away to go wash their clothes. We wanted to make it easy for them there. And whatever, I mean, our checks, they're not huge checks. We maybe make $100 to $150 a month on the washer and dryers there, but I don't have to worry about maintenance. I don't have to worry if it breaks down. I don't do any of that.
Thank you.
I just think, William, it really depends on how many units is this that we're talking about? Is it 1, 2, 3 units?
No, I think I was looking at multi-units, but I was just wondering if it's 20, 30 units and you have a hookup in each apartment, the question of what the water bill would be, even though you make a charge for it, versus having one unit or facility where people just go. And I'm not sure if they will always wash as much as if units are at their house. I was just wondering in comparison, just thought, thinking in advance.
Right, right. Yeah, that's I don't have an answer for that. I mean, I think it just really, it's gonna depend. For like, I can only speak for like my experience. We had a room, it was there, ready to go, hookups and everything. It did not cost me anything. And so, I've probably generated about, let's say maybe on the low end, $1,200 to maybe $2,000 a year from that room,
Okay.
with no headaches, no liabilities whatsoever.
Okay. Gracias. Thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions? Share with me. What are you guys doing? What's up there? What's going on? What are you guys connecting, or like, who are you connecting with, and what are you guys learning? Share with me, because I'm also.
I'm not doing anything. I just, I've been interested in considering multifamily for a while and just never made that step. But in regards to what the gentleman was just talking about, in a situation like that, I like your idea about the storage units. I would see if I could put a hookup in each apartment and turn the laundry room into a storage facility. That way I'm making money off of that, as well as increasing the rent from the hookups.
Correct. Correct. And really, you, at the end of the day, you have to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
The more and more I connect and I talk to other multifamily investors, they're very smart. They just come up with some great stuff to generate cash flow, to just increase that cash flow. So what's holding you back from buying multifamily?
I guess it's just timing. I'm trying to get prepared for it. I did own some single family homes, and I've just recently sold them, just trying to financially position myself to be able to go for the bigger units. And, of course, that's going to cost more. So, yeah, so I think I should be prepared soon.
And where are you located, Candace?
Just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice. I'll tell you something. You don't have to do it alone. You can partner up with other people that are also interested in doing what you're doing. And that's something that I've learned throughout the years, that there's a lot of people out there that want to do this, but maybe they don't have the experience to do it on their own. Maybe financially they are okay, but it'd be great to have someone else kind of be there to help out, right? I guess with just the responsibilities. And you do that by just connecting to different groups, meeting investors and meeting people in your area, if that's the area you want to invest, and just asking questions. It's multifamily it's a very small world, and people know people. Everybody knows each other. So you know what? You can always ask, hey, have you heard of so-and-so? How is he as an operator, right? How does he work? Is there any feedback you can give me? And people will tell you, they'll tell you. And I think it's a great way to get into this market, honestly, if you partner up with the right people. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I know a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, I like the idea. Thank you very much for the information.
Mm-hmm. Michael, you have a couple questions here. You want to go ahead and they were sent to me. Do you want to go ahead and ask them on the group so everyone can hear? Michael? Did I lose him? Okay, well, Michael asked a couple questions. Michael, are you there? Let me see.
He's still on, but he's not muted. He's still
Okay.
on.
Okay, so Michael saying Facebook groups on multifamily have been great for networking. I'm working on raising capital from accredited investors for multifamily deals. So Michael, where are you buying? Okay. Well, California, Northern Ohio, and Southeast. Okay, can you come on and talk to us? Tell us a little bit about your projects. One second. Perfect. Come on. I think it'd be great to hear what your projects are. So as he comes on, let me make sure. Oh, are you there?
Oh,
Yes,
hi.
Michael?
Hi.
Hi. Yes, we can hear you and we can see you now.
Okay. So yeah, the last 3 months or so, I've been trying to raise money for a few deals. One deal is 98 units in Carmichael, which is Sacramento metro area. It's a building for 55 and older age independent living individuals. So it's not assisted living, but it's independent living. So I've been working on that one. I have a couple lenders pre-qualify the property based on how much money it makes. So the raise will basically, when you raise the money, you have to deal with accredited investors, of course, which means, they've made $1 million in the last year or two, or combined married, or they have a net worth of that amount as well. So that's what I've been doing the last 90 days for this particular deal. It's pre-qualified with the lenders, but I have to come up with the down payment, which includes earnest money, closing costs, loan costs, capital expenditures, and a little extra for a slush fund for any incidentals. So that's the big deal I've been working on myself.
And how much are you raising?
Probably it's going to need 5.5 million. So my target price, I mean, the listing broker is pretty frank with me. He knows the seller pretty well. So the seller wants 13 million. He's not going to get 13 million. He knows he'll accept 12.7, but the lenders, upon pre-qualifying the cash flow from a year ago or 2 years ago to where it is now, they've done a great job increasing the rents, but the lenders think it's a little overpriced. So when I submit the letter of intent, because we've been working on the letter of intent, trying to tweak it a few weeks, it's not going to be 12 million. It's going to be probably 11 million. And we expect a lot of pushback on that, but we have our facts to back that up. So that's where we are, trying to haggle on the price.
And does he have to sell? Does the owner have to sell?
Basically, he wants to retire. He owns several of these buildings, and he lives in San Diego, and he wants to buy a luxury apartment building by his house. So
Nice.
he wants to cash out, which is
Right.
fine.
Right,
So he's looking for somebody to fund his retirement, basically.
right.
So he has put a lot of money into this property. He got it for, $1.5 million 6 years ago, but he did put almost $6 million into it.
Oh, wow.
So he did a lot. So I can't deny that he hasn't done a lot, but I still can't overpay for it. I have to still be it can't be beyond what the lender says it can be. So
Right. And is there still room? Is there like some value add opportunity
yes.
there?
So the only properties I'm looking at are value add, like you said. So there is still room to add. And the biggest piece to get the rents a little bit higher is they told me there's 44 units that need kitchenettes. So the other 48 already have them. He's done a lot of work himself already the last 6 years, but that's the one piece that will be needed, because even though it's not assisted living, the one thing that attracted me about this deal is I've never seen this before. They provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the residents. So, I mean, I've seen special luncheons for 55 and older and, special events, but I've never seen breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided before. And they like it a lot. So, they always have that option, but there are some people who prefer to cook their own food. So that's where the kitchenettes will come in to bump up those rents. And they don't need to be bumped up much because the rents are already super high because it's California,
Yeah.
but they're still $200 more to get.
So will the kitchenette, how much will that give you? Like what kind of a bump up are you looking at?
So it'll give me a $200 bump.
Oh, it would. Okay.
Across the board. So that would be an extra 98 times 200, almost 14,000 a month, which.
See, that totally makes sense.
Right. And I mean, I haven't visited yet. That's something that will probably take place, I think, next week if we want to move forward. But the roof is probably 5 to 6 more years of life. So, and he's already done a lot of the heavy lifting. There's new ACs, there's new electrical and all the big things. But I think maybe some more paint and cosmetic and landscaping to make it prettier will always be good.
Right.
So that's kind of where I am with that particular deal.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we've got a group of great people on this call. I mean, if you want to put your contact information on the chat,
Okay.
and email, feel free. And, if anyone is interested and would like to get some more information on his deal, go for it. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks. And you said you're also buying in Ohio?
Yeah, so the 3 single family homes that I own are in Ohio, and I've been in that market since 2016. So I probably will buy another duplex there. But someone just sent me a 9-unit deal yesterday, and that's an out-of-state owner who lives in Colorado. They bought it for like 80 grand 3 years ago. They put 100 grand into it, and now they're trying to cash out. So they rent to college students because it's right by a college campus. So that's something I would keep for myself potentially. If the price is right. So
what did they want? Did they tell you?
Yeah, they want 289 grand. It's 9 units. The gross rents are 55.85, and they're still the rents are low, so the rents should be higher with market once someone moves out. But there's not a lot of comps in that area. There's pretty much no comps. So I need to figure out if it's overpriced or if it's priced right. And I have a couple investor friends in that area who can help me, making sure I'm not overpaying, but that might be something I keep for myself.
Good. Very nice. So you're actively you're actively in the multifamily space.
Officially now I am, yeah.
Well, very good. Very good. Yes. Any other questions?
I have a question for Michael. That deal sounds really exciting. I wish you the best of luck with that. I just want to make sure I understood what you said. You said you're trying to raise $5 million for the down payment. Is that correct?
So not just down payment, that also includes the repairs needed.
The maintenance and the slush fund and the other items, right?
So we've already looked at different lending options. The most attractive one would be a SBA loan, but it doesn't qualify because of the type of property it is. So that one is out the door. So that only leaves conventional, which is basically a large down payment. And by large, I mean like 35%. So,
and then you said that they provide meals. Does that mean that when you purchase the property, you are assuming that obligation too? Or is that something that's outsourced by, like, how does the...
Sure.
How does
So
that work?
it is outsourced. It's a third-party provider
Mhm.
that partnered with the current owner because
Mhm.
that's been his game plan for other buildings he's owned that's worked out. But the income from it is six figures.
Mhm.
I would not want to take away the income from that. But he has said because of COVID, with food handling, the expenses for it has been higher than usual. But he
Right.
thinks as we get better with COVID treatment, he has ways for me to bring the expenses down on that program. So basically, the tenants love it. So I'm not going to get rid of it, but I have
Right.
to control the expenses better than he's been able to because of COVID.
I guess my question is it your choice or your obligation to continue to maintain the meal plan?
That would be my choice.
Your choice.
Yeah, but I mean, he says everyone loves it. So when I hear that, I'm not going to get rid of it.
Right.
I just need to adjust the expenses on it because they're too high, and he knows that too. But it's mostly COVID related. So they added staff because there's more cleaning that needs to
Right.
be done. But he says the last summer it's alleviated a lot because everyone's vaccinated now. So it's much different than a year ago.
Got it.
And are the tenants paying for the service?
Yes,
They are.
they
Okay.
are. But it's optional.
Right,
Just that most of them have opted in
right. Well, I
because
would think at
they
that,
don't want to.
I was gonna say at that age, who wants to cook? I mean, it's
Right.
probably best to just go and get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner there.
Right.
That's nice.
Because my mom lives in one in North Hollywood. She lives in a huge one. So I know how they kind of run. And no one does that. No one has the capacity to do that. It takes a lot. So this particular seller has a history of doing it. So for him, it was easy for him. So
That's great. Great information. Well, good luck.
thank
Good
you.
luck on that. And yeah, make sure you post your info on the chat. That'll be great.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Bill Gross, welcome.
Annabelle Pacheco, what's up?
How's it going? How are you doing?
Doing great, living the dream here, working hard. I just happened to see your call was in process. I jump in and get some good info on the multifamily.
Well, thanks. We had a great call today, and I think Michael shared a deal that he's working on and raising capital. I think that's great too, and we're doing good. Thanks for joining.
Michael's a sharp guy. I'm just selling houses here. The whole capital raising and all that expense stuff. I'm just a humble real estate broker. I don't really understand all that stuff, Michael. You're a pretty smart guy.
I'm learning as I go. It's I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's not easy, if that makes sense. It's just
What's
simple.
easy? Tell me what's easy.
Exactly nothing.
Okay.
Well, it's easy to lay on my couch, drink beer, eat pizza, and watch football. I just can't do it for
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, one day.
Well, that's the whole point. That's why we want to buy a lot of
Right.
doors so that we can, maybe not lay on our couch at home, but lay on a nice couch at the beach and
Yeah.
enjoy
I'm with you.
that life, right? That's
Exactly.
what I want. And I don't actually have to go out and work it. It's coming in as I'm sleeping. But anyway, hey, listen, guys, thank you so much. Thanks. Join my call, Michael. I have this call every Wednesday, 2 to 3.
Really? Every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, 2
What
to
time?
3. Come join.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And-
I am trying to buy a hotel, so I can talk about that next time.
Yes, because I'm in the process. I might be getting myself into a hotel.
Okay.
So come next week. Actually, you know what? Give me your number. I'll call you and we'll connect.
Okay. I put it in the chat to everyone. I don't know if you see it yet.
Hold on, because I'm a little, let's see here, 310-948-6880, Global Alliance Properties. Okay. Perfect. If you are in doing the hotel thing, I'll have you come on as a guest speaker. How's that? Share
Okay.
with us what you're doing.
I can do that.
That's how we all learn. Great. I'll connect with you after the call. Thank you, everyone. If anyone needs to connect or has any questions, my information is on the chat. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you. It was just listening. It was super interesting. Susan, thank you so much. Join me again next week. And I'm here sharing as much multifamily info I can with all of you. In it to learn for myself. And I'm sure, you know what, you guys, something good will come out of this call. Anyway, see you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
All righty. Bye.